The following is brought to you by the People's National Party.
Make the trumpets play. Jamaican people want better. Economy coming like stormy weather. Ancestors are turning on them grave. They can tell me how we can do it together. When we look at the future of precipice, we see Jamaica needs the vision of the PNP. People said the bag of promises, them can't carry go shop. And the crime rate getting higher, wonder when it does stop, comrades. Jamaican people want better. Economy coming like stormy weather. Ancestors are turning on them grave. We can tell me how.
The proceeding was brought to you by the People's National Party.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome. A quite intriguing day as it relates to, the court situation with Joel and Silvera, right? We have to speak on that, right? So he got a sentence, 20 years. That will be running concurrently. But before I do that, my manners, forgive me for my manners, not to recognize my chat room. And, I have to, give my endorsement to my chat room, right? Okay, so before we get into the deck of things for today is going to be quite interesting. I am so happy to come on the live today because of so many things that are unfolding and, just wanting to converse with my people. Now, let me just go through in terms of, the endorsement. All right, Beverly 975. Thank you for passing through again, Beverly. Derek McCoy, Vernica, right, Dahlia, Falmouth Girl, and remember, Falmouth Girl, right, is in the members club, right? People who do like what Falmouth Girl do, no man, and join up the thing, no man, sure. Patel Crew Shank, right, Idea, right, said, I noticed that I have subscribed to this channel a few times, but unfortunately, I am not notified whenever there is a live stream. You know what? Idea might be all right. In terms of your subscription, you need to might be hit the notification bell so that when we sending out, right, you are going to be informed. If you just subscribe and you do not hit the notification bell, then that would be the problem. So hit the notification bell that when we push out, of course, you'll be notified. Right, Anne-Marie McDonald, right? Good day, Mystic. Hope you are doing good. Yes, I'm doing good, and thank you for that. Right, Laverne P9R and Maureen Vassel. Yeah, Maureen left me alone. All right, Richard. All right, so Bless Up Mystic Sensation and Donna Thompson. Right, Jamaica. Kiers Fix, Marcia, Robert Montague. Robert Montague, what is going on? Where is Melting Pot? Well, Melting Pot is not the Friday morning type of person, you will catch him later. So I have to go leave piece of the cake while you discuss this morning for Melting Pot later. Melting Pot is not a Friday afternoon, guys, the Friday evening. So you will see him later. All right. Captain Emergy, right? Jamaica Carefix. Patricia Bantam, right? King Till, all right. Del Raymond. And let me say, for persons who are still, coming in, making their way in to the lobby, right? An umbrella welcome to you all. All right, my people, if you notice, I am breathing down in terms of, let me give you some of the topics that we are going to cover today. right? We'll be touching war in the East. I'm telling you, that is getting more serious as it relates to United States and Israel coming under severe pressure. And it seems as if people, let me say this before we even touch that, it seems as if USA wanted to pull out and blaming Israel. Interesting, you're going to hear it. Unbelievable. We're going to, of course, discuss U.S. Congressman versus Andrew Holness. Right, people? When I first touched this particular case, when Andrew Holness came out and, act as if he was, speaking out in the interests of Cuba. What did I say? And you see now everything go around and come back and oops, okay, Mystic was 100% correct. And when I rushed him on that and said, you're a hypocrite. We know you are playing a chess game, right? You're a hypocrite, right? Other persons came out and said, no, the Prime Minister had not said anything wrong and so forth and so forth. The Prime Minister meant well and so forth and so forth. And they have their way in terms of, defending the Prime Minister. For me, can't fool me, right? Other person said, okay, the congressman who had spoken did not speak for United States, right? He's just a one person. And when he spoke, he doesn't speak for the United States. Well, you are wrong. You are dead wrong. And now you realize, now you're aware, yes, that you were wrong. You're wrong, right? He speaks for the United States, right? And we are going to show you. Now, and here it is that everything come around in terms of my analysis. I was 100% correct. Now, one of the reasons why when I speak on certain things, I don't use emotions. I want you to listen to me. I don't use emotions. As investigator, as a professional investigator, right? I look on the evidence and read into the evidence. And every investigator will tell you one of the things that we try to identify is what we call pattern of behavior. We use the pattern of a behavior to build what we call criminal profile. And so then, while we understand the criminal profile, we put it as the MO, the modus operandi of the criminal. Now, my Jamaican people and all those who, tend to follow Mystic Sensation, we are going to discuss the Joel and Silvera case. And I'm asking you who always follow me, you know me. You know I'm not going to speak on something and give you false information. And before I speak on it, I'm going to research it and show you. You remember, someone sent me, while the case, as it relates to the trial, was sentencing process was in procession. Someone sent me the clip and said, Mystic, tune in. And I just came off because I had was to tune in. And I'm going to say something, right? And I want people to please listen to me and hear me out. I think what Judge Sykes did today was to try to explain to people the threshold burden of the evidence that's stuck against Joel and Silvera. And to be honest, I am going to say that I believe that Judge Sykes, I will be the first to say it, had done a wonderful job. Big up yourself, Bolo. Big up yourself. People remember Bolo, you know. Bolo always, right, out there working, right? So endorse Bolo, please. And some people are going to, you know, might be look at this case and play politics with the case. I am not playing politics with the case. The reason why I'm not playing politics with the case, somebody dies. And if we are here as vlogger and trying to help people in terms of making a right decision, we shouldn't be biased. We shouldn't. If we are here and we are speaking on the wrong that the Jamaica Labour Party does, we should be equally pointed out the wrong that the People's National Party does. Why? You know, Jamaica, that Mystic Sensation is a manly eyes, and we don't play around here. And I have already expressed my reason to be manly eyes. I want you to listen to me, Jamaica. I would be a hypocrite if I am going to just only hear calling out, right, one party wrong and don't call out the next party wrong. We are nation builders. I want people to get what I'm saying. Please do. Please get what I'm saying. Because I know that, you know, a lot of people take this case very personal. But I'm going to point out some evidence to you today that will help you come over that threshold of burden. One of the things that I was happy about in terms of Judge Sykes saying it, you remember a question that I asked. Did Jail and Silveria reported his gun missing? You remember that? For people who are following me. Carl and Lonesome program, and I asked Lonesome the very same thing. Remember, you know, the judge and I did not communicate, and I have not communicated. I don't even know Judge Sykes apart from, right? And everything that he's pointing out is everything that was bothering me. Everything that was bothering me. Everything. Jamaica, before I get into the Jail and Silveria case, I am going to show you a burning evidence that no one can dispute it. Listen to Jamaica. Jail and Silveria armed with a Glock 17 9mm. The rounds that the Glock 17 fired is a 9mm round. And I say that, you know what, before I go and speak, I am going to let them see the evidence. So when you see the evidence, if you want to hold another opinion, it's your thing. That means you're just not getting it. If after what I am going to show you, as it relates to the ballistic footprint, and the judge also spoke about the ballistic footprint, and from day one, I spoke about the ballistic footprint. Sorry, Judge Sykes, that one thing you did today that I did not agree with you on, only one thing, and I'm going to tell you what that thing, and you know I am correct. From day one, I spoke about the police that went on the scene. Right? And did not see blood. Did not cordon off the area. Did not call in the forensic team from day one. And everything I spoke, Judge Sykes spoke about it. Jamaica, I want you to pay attention to this, what I'm going to show you. I went as far because I want to make sure my people be fully aware. Let us take the politics. Put the politics aside. We're talking about someone's life being taken for whatever reason. Look at this evidence that I'm going to show you. What I did, I researched as it relates to the firearm and the ammunition, the type ammunition that was in Silvera's weapon as it relates to what we know. And I'm going to show you something, Jamaica. Look at this. I want you to look at this, Jamaica. I hope you can see, Jamaica. A 9mm bullet fired from a Glock 17 at a distance of 14 feet. Minimal distance for velocity difference. Why you think I use 14 feet? I use the possibility of one of the standard and large bedroom size that majority use in Jamaica, which is a 14 by 14. Some 12 by 12, 14 by 12, but I try to go bigger so that I don't leave nothing in doubt. Now let us read. A 9mm bullet fired from a Glock 17 at a distance of 14 feet, minimal distance for velocity difference, would almost certainly pass through the human body unless it struck a major bone or an extreme amount of dense tissue. Now, the outcome largely depends on, let us talk about bullet type. You know the reason why I'm going bullet type? The ammunition that Joel and Silvera use is what we call a jacketed hollow point. That is the bullet type he used. Hollow point bullets. Now, let us look at the bullet type. One that we call, as it relates to the 9mm grade, full metal jacket. These rounds are designed to retain their shape and tend to penetrate deeper, often exiting the body. This over-penetration is a significant concern in defensive situations due to the risk of hitting bystanders. Now, Giles and Silvera did not use full metal jacket in his magazine. This is what he used. Jacket allowed point. Jacketed hollow point. These are designed to expand upon impact, creating a larger wound channel but penetrating less deeply. What is imperative here, my Jamaican people? Penetrating less deeply. While they are more likely to remain in the body. Pay key attention to that, Jamaican people. Let me read that over so you can get it. These are designed to expand upon impact, creating a larger wound channel but penetrating less deeply. That means it is not going to fully penetrate it and go through the body. While they are more likely to remain in the body than FMGS, they still penetrate deep enough to hit vital organs and are very effective self-defense rounds. So people, you understand what that is saying? Do you understand what you get from that? That the ammunition in question here is the hollow point. Hold on, let me take this call. Yes, caller. Hold on. Okay, let me. Yes, caller. You're on Mystic Sensation.
Good afternoon, Baron. How you doing?
Yes, good afternoon, my dear.
I was listening. I catch the case halfway when the judge was talking about. I'm not that educated. Something I can learn from you people, right?
Thank you.
The judge. There's something about this case that doesn't sit right with me.
Okay.
The judge was speaking. The judge said, when the children wake up,
yes,
they went to their mother's bedroom. One of the child went to the mother's bedroom.
yes.
First of all, how old are those kids?
I honestly don't know the age of Anne, right? Because I wasn't doing any detail check with that. But I think that might be between 10 to 14. I don't know. Right? I would have to get.
So
yeah.
One of the child went to the mother's bedroom, saw the mother's lying on the floor next to the bed.
Yes.
He said the mother was bleeding from her nostril, her bottom.
Yes, something.
Her bottom and somewhere else.
Yes.
Okay. When they call the father, and the father came, the father saw her sitting on a chair. And when he called out to her, there wasn't no response. Then the father called the police.
Did the judge say that? Because I did. Hold on. Did the judge say that? Because I didn't hear that.
Yes. When the police came, they saw.
No, hold on. Let me just repeat. Hold on. Let me repeat what you said. That when Jylan went there, right? Jylan saw her on a chair. That's what you said?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well,
I wanted to go back and listen to the judge's statement again.
Okay.
He saw her. She was on a chair. When he called out to her, she was not responding.
Okay.
When he called the police, when the police came, she was kneeling. She was kneeling with her face down. Isn't that 3 separate statements?
Okay. All right. Because I have the case here with me. So just sit back. We are going to go through, right? And if the judge said that, we will pick up that. All right.
Okay.
So we are going to go through and break it down. All right.
Okay. I'm listening because I listen keenly.
Okay.
As I said, I'm not a very bright person, but I always love to listen.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So I'll be listening, and that, because to me that is 3 separate statements.
Okay.
And something doesn't right.
As a matter of fact, let me just put up that clip right now. Hold on.
Something doesn't sit right.
Let me just put up that clip right now. Video 10. Let me just put up that clip for you. Video 10. Open that. All right.
This is Mac.
Just hold on. Let me just just give me a minute. Let me just
It's okay. What you're doing, it's okay.
Yeah, put up that clip so we can get it right. All right. Now that it is there. All right. Yes. So we are going to discuss it. So you can just sit tight and listen. All right.
Okay. No problem.
Okay. Good.
No problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
Same to you. All right. So what we are going to do, right? And I glad how that lady just called, right? So we are going to go through certain details. Now, let us look at this, my Jamaican people. We're going to look on the next, as it relates to what I just showed, that the ammunition that was in Jylan Silvera's magazine, right, is a hollow point. For me, I fired I fired, you know, several of those ammunition type. I even all right, to be honest, in my weapon, I even carry even more impactful, right? Bullets in my weapon, right? But it is not about me today. Let me just speak to this. Now, let us go to number 2. All right. Let me share this. And here it is. Now, soft tissue, a bullet passing through soft tissue without hitting bone is highly likely to exit the body. Bone, striking major bones can cause the bullet to deform, break into fragments, or be stopped. A hit to the bone creates complex wounds with potential bone shards acting as secondary projectiles. Distance at 14 feet. The bullet is at near optimal velocity. Muzzle velocity is around 1,230 feet and has lost negligibly energy due to air resistance, ensuring significant kinetic energy upon impact. In most scenarios involving a modern 9mm round, a close range over penetration passing through the target is a distinct possibility, right? But it depending on the type of rounds that you're using. So I want to stop share this, right? And get back here. Okay. So what I just showed you, that the rounds that being used as it relates to Jordan Silvera's case was the other point. Simple means now you can understand and rule out the fact, show it out, that yes, the distance in terms of firing upon the body, right, the possibility exists that the bullets are going to stop in the body. You get that? I hope you get that in the people. I hope you get it. That the grade bullet that he used, right? And depending on the distance, and we're talking about 14 feet. So when you look at 14 feet, it is like what you're looking on here, from that point end to that end, right? Going up to behind my TV to the blind wall. That would be considered roughly about 14 feet, right? So if me stay there and shoot somebody, you understand? More likely, depending on the grade bullet that I use, right, it is going to lodge. It not necessarily have to go through, right? And it all depends on the person's body mass, right? So you can understand now that, okay, all right, it's possible, it's quite possible, as it relates to the pathologist found those bullets. What I'm just explaining, that, okay, for people to be reading into that, okay, the bullet would have passed through the body. Not necessarily. And I hope you get that. I hope you get that. Please, take out the emotions out of it. What I just proved, that the ammunition that used as it relates to other point, yes, the bullet, right, based on the science, can stop in the body. I just showed it to you. So let us move on from that, since we clear that, and I hope we clear that. I want to put up this question. Nobody heard the bang. Jamaica. This question, right, is indeed a very good question. But this is the question that Joel and Silvera needs to answer. Why Mystic Sensation is telling you that? Okay. Do any one of us know how she was actually killed, I'm going to say something for the first time that nobody speak about. Do you know that, and I'm not saying that this is the case, that the bullet can be suppressed, the sound of the bullet can be suppressed. Now, if someone is sleeping, you notice, oh, I'm freezing my thing. If someone is sleeping and you put that weapon stuck onto the body and put that weapon in the pillow, you can fire 3 bursts quickly and it suppresses the sound. We don't know how she was killed. I am just telling you experience. So that can answer this question that I have posed right in front of her face. Question. Nobody hear the bang. That is one of the questions that I asked as well. But on second thought, really, how was she killed? Is it possible? Because remember, said if she was not sleeping and she's aware and Giles and Sylvia would point a gun on her, she might be screaming, hey, don't do that. What? Loud noise, the children are going to hear. Now, if Giles and Sylvia, as it relates to claiming that, okay, there was an argument and, you know, obviously, Jamaica people, listen to what I'm saying. And I'm going to use my wife. Look at this room, because this is the room space that we are talking about. And I have a room, I have 3 more rooms upstairs, right? Because my unit is quite big. And my wife and I, we are here arguing. The children are sleeping, right? Think of what I'm saying. And my wife said some things to me, and I don't like it, right? And I, as a result of what she said to me, I am so grieved and so caught up, all right? I was in the process as what being told, right? Holstering my firearm, and because of the argument, the eating argument, right? I got aggravated enough and I squeezed 3 shots from that distance. Jamaica, you are not fooled. You are not fooled. That would have awakened the child, awakened the children. Bam, bam. In a close combat area, close compact area, the sound decibel would be very loud. The question, how was she killed? The question, why did no one hear the sound? I am just giving you alternative way how to look. Could it? That might be. And I'm not saying that this is what happened. I'm just saying. Because if I am grieved over whatever I am grieved about, and I don't want my children to hear the uproar, and I intend to kill my wife, might be the better time to choose it is when the children gone to sleep, and possibly my wife gone to sleep. I am not saying that it is so, you know. I am telling you the possibility of why there are many reasons why you may not have heard the sound. It is not a thing that, okay, all right, from once he fired, right? It all depends on the methodology, the process of how she was killed. if she was killed in her sleep and a pillow used to suppress it, you are not going to hear it. People, you are not going to hear it. Now, it may appear confusing. Remember from day one when you listen to Mystic Sensation, I said, I want you to go back and listen to the clip. Why? The first investigator who went on the scene, why they don't charge him? Why he was not charged? Jamaica, listen to me. Every police officer know how to treat a crime scene. We have learned that in the academy. We have learned that. So you are going to tell me you are an investigator. You went on a crime scene. Right? Remember, you are not the forensic team. The first thing that I am going to do, if I am not the forensic team, right? If Jail and Silvera is there, I am going to collect a statement from Jail and Silvera right then and there. What I'm going to do, I am going to cordon off the area. Right? Put my caution tape. It's now a crime scene and has to be treated as such. Simple mean everything in that area is going to be recorded, put on notice. I am going to now call in the forensic expert to come and do, you understand, their thing of the body and so forth and so forth. And right then and there, Joel and Silvera would have been charged for murder. The forensic team, upon their examination, would have seen that 3 bullet wounds. The question, if the investigator had gone there and did not see adequate blood, Jamaica, don't be fooled. I want you to open your cranium. If I fire a Glock 17 9mm 3 times to hit my wife, she's going to bleed like a pig. You know that. You know that. You all know that. She's going to bleed like a pig. You're not just going to have a simple spot of blood. Come on. It's worse if it destroys vital organs. Come on, people. You know that. You know that. So the question to the investigator. Just asking a question. I don't want people to bash me. Did you help cleaning the crime scene? This is the reason why I asked. Why were you not charged? Why were you not charged? You don't see the blood. So from initially, were you trying to protect him? And as a result, it came out after because of the pathologist who then found the rounds and decided that no, a murder investigation has to proceed. Let me just answer this. Yes, Carla, you are on Mystic Sensation.
Yes. Good afternoon, Mystic.
Good afternoon.
Mystic, I want to ask a question. If you asked down to the gate already, right?
Yes.
I am surprised, even though I'm not, at Brian Sykes accepting the statement from the police officer, because even though as a judge,
it is wrong. Let me say that it is wrong. They know very well that the investigator mess up.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I'm saying you will watch court all the time, and like a witness describes something, and the judge said no, that can't go like that. So I'm wondering, why is it the judge didn't say no, it can't go like that? And the next thing, why is it when the body was at the funeral home and they're going to perform the autopsy, okay, the pathologist called the police because the pathologist said, okay, they see fragments. Why is it they didn't perform the autopsy same way? Why is it they put it off till 2 more weeks?
Well,
I tell you,
at what point did the pathologist make the report? Did the pathologist make a report upon her first examination? We have to ask that.
No, they didn't make the they made the report of what they saw on the first occasion.
Okay, that's
put off the autopsy till 2 weeks after, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I watched it, but trust me, Mystic, when I was watching it, just hearing Brian Sykes read what the detective wrote,
yes,
it's clear that there is conspiracy, and for somebody who is the Chief Justice, let me tell you something, it looked bad enough, Mystic.
Yeah.
It looked bad enough.
It
just goes to show, when I call you and I say, boy, I don't know if Jamaican people are get justice in a mistake.
Yes.
Because the people who are supposed to deliver justice are supposed to be fair and balanced. These people, they definitely look like they have been corrupted. And you could understand why they didn't bring the case live.
As it relates to the gun court though, right? If you go through the Constitution, they don't normally do that. So it is not about Silvera's case. That's just a standard.
No, they don't normally do that, Mr.
Yeah.
They don't normally do that because of laws.
Yes, exactly.
But when you have something that's of national importance, and the main thing is, Mystic, people should take into consideration, when you have a case where nobody is going to disturb the court proceedings, it also allows the judge, it also allows the prosecutor, it also allows the defendant's lawyer the right to say, okay, we want this case to be heard in front of the public, just like how you could allow when the reporter or the journalist said, okay, we want to be in the court. There is no, Mystic, in these modern times, Mystic, there is no real reason for a gun court to be having cases where it can be heard in the public so the public can hear everything.
Yes.
But this just shows, Mystic, there's corruption in Jamaica to the highest level, Mystic.
That is something what we know. Not only this case. This is not the only case that bring out that. Come on.
Mystic, this is not the only one, Mystic. Because I could tell you one that happened already with Paula, where the pathologist and the what's the next person who look at the body? They both ruled against what she said, and she went in her own direction.
Oh, you're talking about the rape case at Irvin there, St. James.
I'm talking about that one, and I'm also talking about the next one with Kentucky kid. And even though both people, the forensic and the pathologist, said no, the prosecutor went along and did her own thing. And even in the court case, the court did not give the experts who are trained to say, okay, because of this is your field, we have to overrule the prosecutor. So I'm telling you, Mystic, corruption.
Yes.
A lot of the problems that we're having, Mystic, if we tackle corruption and send a strong message, Mystic,
yes,
we will have a better Jamaica.
Well, before you go, the more serious corruption that I think you would want to highlight. You understand? And that's why I am saying that I am not here to say whether Joel and Silvera, right, guilty and innocent. The court decide that. I am saying, like how they pursue Joel and Silvera, that's fine. Nothing wrong with that if you have the evidence to put him away, right? What happened to Patrick Bailey? That is what we wanted to talk about. What happened to Patrick Bailey? Why not pursue Patrick Bailey? That is serious corruption.
Mystic.
Yes, my brother.
When you have strong evidence against people in Jamaica, especially people in the higher society,
yes,
court does not proceed. Look, for example, this is not a murder case. When we have the Prime Minister evading taxes, and you have them who go after people from
those are the corruption. Those are no you're touching. Look here. Remember, you know, Jamaica is extremely corrupted, you know. Remember that we are on 44. We're at 44 on the corruption index. So there's no question. The entire globe knows that Jamaica corrupt. So I mean,
if you want to go further and look at corruption,
yes,
we could look. I was watching the Standing Finance Committee.
Yes.
And let me tell you something, Jeff. Let me tell you something, Mystic. Yes, when you have people who you pay, and all they could tell us is that the statement ending the year, the financial statement cannot be produced.
Yes.
Mystic, that should tell us, one, where is the what you call them who work with the government? What do you call them again?
No, you have several people who work with the government. You have to break it down.
I'm talking the one who's in charge of the ministry who deal with the finance.
Oh, the Ministry of Finance? Oh, you mean the permanent secretary? Permanent secretaries?
Yeah. Why is it at the end of the year, the permanent secretary don't ask for those to be presented? And why is it, no matter what they want to say, because when you watch it, Mystic, everybody is coming out and saying to the Jamaican people, we don't have anybody in our department to do these reports. So you're telling us that the government, we're paying all these people these salary and they are not equipped to do the work?
Well, that is corruption. I presume you're talking about the appropriation accounts that not being filed on a yearly basis. And yeah, and you're 100% correct, sir. I don't know if I can, you are correct in terms of what you're saying.
And then again, a next thing that stood out, when you have people who could literally come in front of the Jamaican people and tell them that files are wet because the building is leaking. What happened to the people who are running these buildings, who know that the building needs fixing? Mystic, the corruption gone straight down to the ground.
Yeah, man, I do agree with you. I do agree with you.
The ground.
But,
and we can talk till morning.
Yeah.
Mystic.
But let me.
Again.
All right. Let me.
Get up and lock it down. Stack and barrel, Mystic.
Yes.
It not because these people who are in power, they are so emboldened. They have no shame. They have no respect.
Yes.
They have no God. If you want to look at clear case, when they were doing this.
All right, let me give you a minute. Let me give you a minute to wrap up because my program is thick for today. And I don't even really get into the depth of the program as yet. And Syla sister Winnie called me. Right?
Why is it Michelle Charles was charged when she took $60 million and built a road to her property alone? Well,
the answer what we can tell you for that is corruption. Clear corruption. Plain and simple. And you know.
That's my 2 cents, man.
All right, blessings. Okay, all right. Sister Winnie, you have to call me back because I just miss you there. I was just finishing up with the previous caller. So call me back, Sister Winnie. Because I know you have something heated, you know. All right. So Sister Winnie, you can call me back. All right. Now, so Jamaica. All right. Let us speak the truth, Jamaica. Carolee said, I still say he didn't kill her, but he is willing to give up his freedom for his kids. Well, okay, this is my point, my sister. This is my point. And I'm going to reason with you, Carolee. If I am not guilty of a crime, remember I have to live with it in terms of me saying that I am guilty when I'm not. And not only that, I am going to have to live with it, right? My children, they will gradually depart, children's stage and get to that adolescent stage where they are going to now face me with that reality as it relates to their mother's passing. I will have to deal with that. Carol, I'm going to have to deal with that. Why? Look at this. Why would I be pleading guilty to a crime that I did not commit? That later on in life, my children, what am I going to say to my children? My children are going to ask me, Dad, why did you plead guilty and you are not guilty? Why would you do that? For the sake of me and the sake of my children, under no circumstance. Under no circumstance. And I don't care. I honestly don't care if we're talking about 100, 200 years, because you know what? And particularly if I have money, the appellate court is going to be there. And the appellate court is going to look on the same evidence that they had looked at. And if I am innocent, the appellate court is going to set me free. Let me just answer this. Yes, Sister Winnie.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Blessing, Sister Winnie. Yeah, she's okay. She gone to the supermarket there.
Well, tell her to bring up some of the shopping for me.
Yes.
He did not kill his wife.
Okay.
Because I'm a person my husband can tell you, if something is going to happen to my family, my kids, and my sisters, not my nieces or nephew, I always can tell. As God in him, if he can tell you, I can lick him and say, wake up, baby. I got to go back. Something is wrong with one of you, my children. He can tell you, it's like I can feel certain things. He did not kill his wife. And they all know who is in parliament. They know he did not do it. And to me, it's for the sea and the land. Because where that land is, the sea can hold the biggest ship in the world, can land there.
Yes.
And that's money. You hear me?
All right.
But I would give up my life for my kids, sir. As there's a God above, I would lay down my life for my children. If you're going to say, if you don't, allege that you don't plead guilty, I can take out 2 or 1 or 3. I'm going to say, yes, give me the pen where to sign. And I will do 100 years for my children.
But, Mrs. Winnie, I love how you state that, because I will give up my life for my children in terms of saying that I'm not guilty.
No, I'm going to say, you want me to say guilty? I'll say guilty. And I'm not going to I am guilty. They want me to be guilty, and I'm guilty.
I'm not going to
be charged.
Okay.
No, I'm going to say, sir, they said I must say I am guilty. Yes, I am guilty. For my children's life, I am guilty. You can do what you want there. Or they could make them somebody beat him up bad in the cell. They could make him stand up and glass buckle. There's a lot, you know. It's right
Sister
for us
Winnie.
out here to say this and that. But I have my own sister, I have a brother in the UK. And when the cell door was open, he's have his two fists like he got to punch. Dead as the day born. You hear me, sir? They was fighting him, they were beating him, and he wouldn't give in, and they beat him till he dead. So, you know, the man, I sorry for him, and it's all to do with the sea and the land. And they're going to build up, now they can go and build up bigger. I bet you before the end of the year, you're going to get the plan for that place. And those children will not get a cent. Those 4 children will not see a cent, sir. And then that person who did it, one day you're going to want your hand to use and we're going to paralyze. I pray to God that will happen to you. Or you run mad and start talking on the road. Mr. Silvera never killed his wife. He never did. He never did, and hope his family don't turn their back on him because he never do it. Look at the man that the house lock up. No one can come in. Bad dog. And the man dead, and the man is still outside working and eating big food. And the man dead. In my house, if I was up 4 flights, 4 stairs, 1, 2, 4.
All right.
And a noise was downstairs. Not a big noise. I wake up and jump up and run downstairs to see what it was. And it's a dog that knocked over a veils. And he knocked it over in the sitting room. And I was in the bedroom on top.
All right, Sister Winnie. All right, Sister Winnie. Let me because I have to answer another person. So stay in class, Sister Winnie. You know it go. Let me just.
Hello?
Yes, Sister Winnie. Let me take another person call because a lot of persons calling in. They want to communicate as well. All right.
But sorry he didn't do it, and I wish somebody would go and visit him regular.
Okay. All right. Sorry for that caller who is consistently calling. You can call back. That line is free. Now, let me say, right, as it relates to the Joel and Silvera situation here, because as it relates to okay. Yes, Sister P. How you doing?
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, my sister.
In Jamaica, however.
Yes.
This is my opinion and my opinion.
Yeah, man, you have a right to your opinion, mommy.
Joel and Silvera
Yes.
did not kill his wife.
Okay.
But if Joel and Silvera did plead not guilty, he would be a dead man.
And why? Tell me why you said that. Tell me why you said that.
Because of the corruption in the country, just like the pastor man, we go as spiritually ill. And when he go over the cliff, he say not dead, he won't hang himself. Okay? This thing is not like that. And the next, and I'm gonna say, why the judge don't call the police when do the investigation, like I said, detective, corporal, or whatever, so and so sergeant, who was the investigator, or the person, the doctor name, when you call it the pathology.
Yeah,
you hear a policeman and at that.
No,
did anybody question the children?
Yeah, man. If you listen to the the case, I have the case here, but it long, and I really
I listen since morning. I mean, I hear nobody question. You pity them.
Well, they said, yeah, man. Hold on, because I listen to Sister P, right? Right. And the children, when they were questioned, they responded, right? based on the questions they were asked. The judge pointed out that. They asked them. Right, they were identifying what they saw as it relates to their mother.
No, but yes, that's did they see when the father shoot the mother?
No, they didn't see that.
Okay. And Judge Sykes said, what part I said, when they called Mr. Sylvia turned back and he come find her so when I bed or whatever, sit on that chair somewhere there. And then the investigator come find her on her knee with her bam turn up and ask him to cover her private part.
Okay, all right. So let me ask a question. All right, hold on. Stop right there, Sister P. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Who you think now would move her from off the chair and put her on the bed?
Me don't believe nobody move her. She get poison.
Well, hold on. You are saying that Mr. Silvera said, in terms of his observation, right?
Yeah.
He saw her on the chair. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
The police who came there, right?
Yes.
Saw her, right, in the bed, right? And we yes. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's what the police said. All right. So then let me ask a question now. Between Silvera and the police who would have gone to the scene, no say, well, all right, he cannot contaminate with this, he should not contaminate with the crime scene by moving the body from where it's seen. So let me ask you, Sister P, who would have moved the body? Who would have moved the body?
That's a good question.
You see what I'm trying to show you? That's why I say, Sister P. Hold on, Sister P. That's why I want you to think. Giles and Silvera claimed that when he went there, right? She sat on a chair and blah, blah, blah. The investigator is giving contrast statement to what he said. Now I'm asking you, Sister P, using your cranium, ask yourself the question. Between the police and Giles and Silvera, who would have moved the body? And the second question I need to ask, what would it benefit the policeman to want to move the body? Or ask yourself the question, what would it benefit Giles and Silvera to want to move the body? Why was the body moved?
All right. Good question.
Yes.
But listen to one expert now. For a person to get 3 gunshots,
yes,
which part they say gunshot fire, and it caliber a gunshot, you believe that person would be sitting in a chair or bend down?
No. I'm glad how you asked that.
Okay.
All right, so hold on. What the next thing you ask now? If someone want to cover up a crime scene by moving the body and put it wherever to shape the crime scene, remember that the police never committed the murder, you know. Never committed. The police don't kill anybody, you know. The police went there to investigate. So anybody who is going to now play with the crime scene, who you think would play with the crime scene?
Play with the crime. Well, it can't be the police too.
So why would the and I'm asking you, Sister P, may I have a reason why the police would want to do that?
For more than one reason.
Why?
Probably when they got it, the person in that pain, the person never dead yet, so they might try to fix him. That in time. Some of them are tell lies.
All right, hold on. Stop right there. Sister P, Sister P. If a police went on a scene and observed that the person is not dead, the police is going to call, you understand, for an ambulance.
The police supposed to call for ambulance.
Okay.
But not in Jamaica. Everything in Jamaica got the
But
other way.
Sister P, we can't listen. Hear what I'm saying, Sister P. Sister P, hear what I'm saying. Right? Hear what I'm saying. We as professional people, right, doing investigation, we can't we can determine an investigation based on what we think. We can't do that. Okay, hold on. In investigation 101, you can't bring your perception to a crime scene. You know the reason why? It simply means that you have to follow the evidence and read the evidence. Hear the evidence. Hear the evidence. Number one, the bullet fragment that found in Miss Mrs. Silvera, sorry, is the bullet fragment that matched the Glock 17 of Joyland Silvera's weapon. The second question, was Joyland Silvera's weapon stolen? No. As a matter of fact, the judge said that the FLA called Joyland Silvera, right, as it relates to the relicensing of his weapon, and they tested it, and there was nothing wrong. Simple means his weapon was in his position. So, Pat, let me hear you argue now. Let me hear you reason now, Sister Pat. If the weapon in my position, and the weapon don't leave me alone, not in an inch, and my wife dead, and 3 bullets out of my magazine, is the cause of death. What do you think, Sister P?
If I try go.
Well, that's why me and you argue, Sister P. Listen to me. That's why me and you argue. And I'm going to take you through the thing now. Look here, Sister P. Look. Joyland Silvera carry a Glock 17. Right? Now, the ballistic expert, right, who tests the fragment in the body, right, realize that 2 traces in terms of investigation, 2 level trace, level 1 and level 2, that group what sort of bullet grade, which is the 9mm. The level 2 grade as it relates to the barrel signature core mark that comes out of that barrel would have fit and match Joyland Silvera gun. And this is the reason why when I was on Real Lonesome program, I asked one question. And the question I asked, was Joyland Silvera gun reported stolen? Guess what, Sister P? The evidence, the strong evidence, no, his gun was not stolen. Then Joyland Silvera would have to tell me, if your gun were not stolen, sir, and you are the only person who have access to your gun, the bullet grade that you fired found in your wife's body, how did it get there? If Joyland Silvera come in front of me, right, and I asked him, said, Mr. Silvera, right, I want to ask you about the upkeep of your firearm. Sir, do you still have your weapon with you? And he said yes. I might just play along with him and ask, because obviously if he still have his weapon with him, that means his weapon wouldn't stolen. But just for clarity, right, I would ask him, does any other person apart from you have access to your weapon? And he said no. Now we can move on to the next stage, Sister P. Okay. If you are the only person who have access to your weapon, you carry a Glock 17, you fire 9mm rounds and the particular grade of the round. Okay. Based on the pathology, remember now, there is no way the pathology have access to Joyland Silvera gun, to say, all right, I'm going to fire in the body and frame him. The pathologists now have no access to Joyland Silvera's gun. Is after the pathologists found the bullet fragment, they went and seized Giles and Silvera gun. Giles and Silvera gun was not seized before.
Okay.
Make you talk. Make a reason, Sister Pat, because I want the other people them get it. The first police, that's why, look here. All right, let me just open the case. Judge Sykes knew that the police who went on the scene trying best to save Giles and Silvera. They know. They know that he went on the scene and they might try a little thing. The police who call on the scene, right? Maybe understand what it is and try to help him out. What really bring the case to light, what people don't understand based on the case today, what brought the case to light is the pathologist, no one else. It was almost, the case was almost get off as might be a sudden death or something like that.
Yeah, because the first report was that she died peacefully in her sleep.
Aye! Come quick talk, Sister Pat. Come quick talk, Sister Pat. So you can see that the police who went on the crime scene, you understand? And if the police is listening to me, I will say, based on the evidence being revealed, you have tried to help him. However, it did not work. You tried to help him, it did not work. What transpired is that the pathologist blew up everything. The pathologist now who found the bullet fragment saying, no, more investigation needs to be done on this. That's why Judge Sykes is now telling you that two persons that you need to give the credit to. You give the credit, one, to the pathologist, and you give the credit, right, to the ballistic expert. They are the ones who opened the case. The FLA, again, look at this, Sister P. The FLA, right, have Giles and Silvera come into the FLA and relicense his weapon and check his weapon. And there was nothing wrong with his weapon. So his weapon was not reported lost. He has full access to his weapon. So let us jump to the fact now. The wife died. 3 fragment bullets that match the signature core of his barrel. Okay, all right. Giles and Silvera, right, try to explain to the prosecutor as it relates to the plea bargain. Watch here, Sister P, what a lot of people leaving out. Sister P, I am going to tell you this now, what several of us leaving out. Sister P, when you have a case like a felony case, as what the judge was speaking, to prove a felony case, Sister P, you have to use the burden of proof that you have to use is beyond a reasonable doubt. If any lawyer in the chat, you know, listening to me or anyone listening to me can agree with me. Sister P, you know the reasons why beyond a reasonable doubt being used? Let me explain to you. When you're asked to prove a case beyond a reasonable doubt, that means, guess what? You cannot be 10% wrong. You cannot be 5% wrong. You cannot be 1% wrong. You have to be 100% correct. That's why you use beyond, right? A reasonable doubt. Beyond a reason. You can't have no form of doubt. All right. Let me show you how them lock down beyond reasonable doubt. Giles and Silvera being there, being in locked up. All right. When Jail and Silvera got his lawyer, the investigation that the prosecution have done, everything as it relates to the police report, right? As it relates to the first investigator, the pathologist, every single report have to hand over to the defense team. Simple means, Sister P, Jail and Silvera is going to see the evidence that was there against him. His lawyer is going to see the evidence that is going to be there against him. Let me give you one more advantage and tell them. Now, the defense team can find something. By law, the defense team doesn't have to share it with the prosecutor. You know? However, Sister P, if the prosecutor find any case or any new evidence, any at all, the prosecutor must share it with the defense team. So what am I saying to you? In the process of discovery, nobody fool Sister P. In the process of discovery, Jail and Silvera look and see all the evidence that was against him.
Okay, I understand, you know.
Jail and Silvera look and he saw all the evidence that was against him. And what he said, and that is one of the reasons why the judge charged him the way how he charged him. Because he said, if you notice what Judge Sykes said, he said he sat there and he waited and he strategically applied his case. He waited until the discovery gone to him, and when he had seen the evidence against him, then he take the plea. Did you hear what Judge Sykes said?
Yeah, me and a party.
That was what he said, and that was what he done for true.
So I that sinking.
Then come on, Sister P.
Okay.
So all right. Look, to be honest, the police who went on the scene, and I'm just saying, I have no evidence. I don't want anyone watching me. That the possibility him and the police are brethren and the police try a thing to save him, but honestly, the police cannot save him. Right? Sister P.
Yeah.
All right, let me take a call. Are you here?
Yeah, man.
All right, blessing.
Thanks for the heads up.
Blessing. Yes, caller. You're missing set. Blessings, caller.
You know, I love how you start, you pick apart this, you know, you're such a good man when it comes to being fair.
Thank you very much.
And dealing with things in a manner that our listeners and those in the chat can, you know, your credibility. You're a very credible man. And you know what? You're fair.
Thank you.
When you state a fact. I watched it.
Yes.
And what I appreciate with Justice Sykes is that he had a starting point.
Yes.
And he gave us all the referrals.
He did a wonderful job.
He's going to start.
He did a wonderful job.
Trinidad and Tobago to
Yes.
Grand Cayman, he even go to New Zealand. So he stays within the Commonwealth in that sense. And on top of that, he stays within the law,
Yes.
the Constitution, and he even makes sure it talks about the guidelines, the statutes that
Yes.
he's going to be using, which compile, a compilation, which is his method.
Yes.
And his starting point that he do, and he breaks it down right as you speak. But you see once, and the gentleman that call about the gun barrel.
Yes.
Remember, Justice Sykes make sure he hit that point that when they did renew
Yes.
his gun and they got it, there was no rust.
Here you go, my
there
sister.
was nothing to change.
Exactly.
And the other things that I appreciate with him, he said there's no report or evidence that the gun was taken, missing, anything of that. So he methodically,
Yes.
One at a time.
It was surgical. It was quite surgical.
Touch, well, yes, and clinical too.
Yes.
Where he comes down with all his judgment. The
Yeah.
only thing, and you know what? He still had some sympathy on him when he took into consideration his constituents of St. Mary that had written and said,
Yes.
outside of his domestic affairs home,
Yes.
he has his light.
Mm-hmm.
So the judge considered even that, which take it down 35%
Mm-hmm.
of his charge. So he did act within all scope.
Yes.
That he touches every aspect of it. But what I am so grateful for is that these children will be old enough when he gets out to can talk to him and deal with him in a matter where they can at least talk to him, because seriously, he knew, as Justice I said, from when Mystic, from when,
Yes.
and he knew, and he didn't say anything until he, as you said, right now, which you are correct, he saw the evidence and how the balance going where,
Yes.
and this is his out. But he thought he was gonna get less. I think he was thinking he was gonna get less because, but he knew for how long he even leave the lady there. Maybe
Yes.
she could have saved.
Exactly.
Maybe.
Exactly.
He didn't do anything. Anyways, I'll let you go. I agree with you 100%. Stand firm on truth and justice.
Thank you.
And say hello to Madam Mystic for
All
me.
right.
Have a good day.
Blessings. All right. So there it is, that caller give wonderful energy. Love it. Right. Marie said, but Byron, your line of argument changed because I heard you discussing this case before and you were arguing differently. Did you get some new information? All right, Sister Marie. But before I answer you, if you can tell me on the point in terms of what I argued on, then I can answer you specifically. Right? So just type back in the chat, Sister Marie, right, and tell me, okay, what other different opinion that I shared, right? And I will argue that. Now, for me, if I shared certain information at whatever period of time, right? If you notice, in terms of any time that I'm dealing with this case, Marie, I always said, I am not here to say whether or not Jal and Silveria innocent or guilty. And that is one of the reasons why I put up that so that everyone can see. If you go back through all my clips, right, you will heard me say it. And if you go back through the original clips, right, the question as it relates to me identifying the weakness of the investigator from day one. So, Sister Marie, go back through the clip and you will hear me speaking about the investigator from day one. Right? And so then, when you look at it, Sister Maria, right? And you and see in terms of what we are seeing, right? And remember, at one point when we were arguing this, right, from the initial stage, remember, Marie, that at the initial stage, right, he did not sign a plea bargain. He did not sign a plea bargain. So then if I was discussing a case to the fact that he did not admit to the crime, I am going to deal with it and ask these questions. Remember that also that I were the one asking the question in saying that, okay, all right, why would Silveria fire the weapon as it relates to a 9mm, right, into a confined space is going to be very loud. How could he fire that weapon, right, and no one here? However, proper research came in right, as it relates to factors why, of course, someone can fire a 9mm and you don't hear it, depending on how they suppress it. It can be suppressed, right? And let me say this, and that's why I mentioned those things. I mentioned those things, that the sound wave, if you're an expert, if you're a professional, right, and if you know your stuff, right, yeah man, you can fire and the decibel don't escape in the wide ear. You can suppress it, right? Now, goes back now to after he take a plea bargain. This is where now I have to look now differently. Because the question that I will ask, why would you take a plea bargain and you are innocent? Remember, Maria, I trusted myself in that and said, under no circumstances, if you watch all the clips then, even on Titans, where I also told Lonesome, I said, Lonesome, under no circumstances that I would be innocent. And taking a plea bargain for what? And I have my children then. My children, they are going to grow and reach adolescence. This thing is going to come back to me. I have to explain to them, and explain to them what? That I killed their mother. And look, I am innocent. I didn't kill mommy. I didn't kill mommy. Under no circumstances, no matter how great it is, 100 or 1,000,000 years, send me there. Look, I am not joking. 1,000,000 year man, send me the man, because guess what? I am not going to say, right? I am guilty when I'm innocent. The only time that is going to happen to me, if someone have a gun at my head. Hold on. Yes, Carla, you're on Mystic Sensation. Go ahead.
Yes, Byron, one quick question here.
Yes.
How many times did they get the pathology, if that's the name, the correct name? How many times? Because I think I heard that the first pathology, then they get a second one because after they arrested Mr. Silvera, took away his gun. Then they get a second pathology, some private one.
No,
so
hold on.
That's the question I want to ask.
Thank you for asking the question. Based on what I got as it relates to the court hearing,
I'm gonna hang up and listen to you.
Yes. Okay. Based on what I got from the court hearing, right, was only one pathologist, right, was utilized, right, and that is why Justice Sykes was saying out to the public that he has no problem if someone who doubt, right, the evidence being sorted by the original pathologist, and he wants to go out and use his independent person, then he has no problem with that. And that was one of the reasons why Judge Sykes spoke in respective of that. That okay, if he believed that the pathologist, right, lied or whatever, right, he could go and get an independent pathologist, and he didn't. And that is one of the reasons why, as it relates to how Judge Sykes had given him the sentence, right? Because Judge Sykes is saying that, okay, you sat there and you play the system, you play a game in the system. Simply means that you waited until discovery. And when you see the evidence, right, that's stacked up against you, and you realize that you can't beat the evidence, you have pleaded, right, as it relates to, right, taking that plea. And that is what Judge Sykes is saying. Judge Sykes is looking, speaking right in the presence of him in the court and say that you have waited, right? You play strategically with the system, knowing that what you have done what you have done, but you played on the system because you know that it is going to reach discovery. Remember, you know, Jordan Silveira is a brilliant person, you know. We are not talking, look, Jamaica, you need to understand. Jordan Silveira, right, is someone, right, who is in the academia space. Someone who was a member of parliament. You're talking with somebody, you understand, that have an eye to show of intelligence. You're not talking about an ordinary person, you know. And that is one of the reasons why Judge Sykes is saying to him that you know that you have done what you have done. But you waited on discovery because discovery is going to reveal what the prosecutor have. And then after discovery, you wanted a plea bargain. That's what Judge Sykes said. And that was when he requested a plea bargain for true. That's evidence. He did not plea upon the moment of arrest. He did not plea. As a matter of fact. And that is why it is so confusing to all of you. Because of what he was sending out there. The information that he was giving out there. At one point we heard that he doesn't live at the house. Then in today's case, we proved that that was a lie. He lived all along there. Look at that. And that out there in the space that he doesn't live there. He just goes there and visit. That was a lie. That was a lie. At one point, you heard that there was a 2-2-matic. That again was another lie. Another lie that is out there. So where I look on the evidence and have to judge the evidence, not going to induce my perceptions and my feeling. You can't do that. I feel say him not guilty. If you do that, you're wrong. You're inducing your personal emotions. You have to look on the evidence. And what Judge Sykes is saying, that there were two things he was not able to get around. One, let us go through it, people. One, the pathologist, the science. The pathologist who discovered the entry wounds of the bullets. Number two, after the pathologist discovered that those fragments were collected, let me take you through the process. Those fragments were collected, enveloped, right, and sent to the ballistic experts. Remember that the ballistic experts, right, don't know Jailan, you know. Come on. The ballistic, let me allow you to get it. The ballistic expert, right, in Kingston, they don't know Jailan in St. Mary. They weren't there when Jailan and said, okay, all right, I'm going to frame Jailan. They weren't there. Fragments sent to them, and the gun that the police seized from Jailan sent to them. And all that they were asked to do was to find out if the fragments being collected, right, has anything to do with the weapon under investigation. They have nothing to do as it relates to wanting to, right, try to, I don't know, I sometimes I don't know how people think, but they have nothing to do with that. They are independent of that. So upon their test, and that is why they were in court today, right? And they were also saying to the judge that they use a 2-level test system. Level 1 is going to show you the grouping of the firearm, which group it belongs to, whether it belongs to a Glock 19, a Glock 17, a Glock this, a Glock that, right? And level 2 investigation is going to talk about now the coring of the barrel and the signature and the fragment that mash up with the fragment that fully identify with the weapon. So the pathologists don't have nothing to do with it more than test the weapon and tell you whether or not 100% that the bullet fragment match this weapon. They don't know whose weapon it is. They bring out that report. That's the report that the investigator sent for, and that's the report what they had done, completed the investigation, and send it back. It is the lead investigator who's looking on it, you understand, following the evidence, collecting the evidence, and assembling the evidence. Right? That took it to the prosecutor. Prosecutor look at it, right? And realize that, okay, all right, can we go further with this in court? Based on the evidence collected, the prosecutor would realize that, okay, they have a strong evidence to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. All along, during those investigations, Jylan sat there and did not confess to a crime. We need to remember this. While the investigation going on, Jylan sat there and did not speak that he was guilty. He didn't. When did Jylan speak? Jylan spoke after the discovery. So Jylan now have a chance now to see what the prosecution is presenting and said, I need a plea. Why did you plea? Because the evidence was locked tight. Come on, people. So, again, okay. I mean, I really don't know how, to be honest, you know, in terms of, you know, the way, you know, let me just left that alone. Okay, so this person, judge will say, so where did you get the information you were telling us about 22? Do the murder or your information even credible? Well, Roger, if you were listening, right, when I responded about 22, I wasn't the person who brought up 22. Somebody was saying it into the chat, and I was responding to the person in the chat. This is what I'm talking about, people. This is what I'm talking, and this is why I put it up now. Roger is saying, okay, so where did you get the information? You were telling us about 22. Do the murder or your information even credible? Now, Roger, go back and listen, right, to that tape and pay attention, you understand, to the chat. I was responding to what person said into the chat. All right, how did vagina get shot in the... Let me ask you another question before you ask. How did vagina comes in? I was also responding to persons who making statement in the chat. Not me. Right? So go back. You understand? And again, it goes to investigation. Do your proper investigation, Roger. Investigate proper. I wasn't, sir, the person who came up talking about 22. I was making a reference of what person said in the chat. Right? So we clarify that. All right? Blessings. Now, so then this is what we are talking about. Right? We heard about 2-2 out there. How did 2-2 come in? That again was a lie. That again was a lie. Right? And we heard all sorts of things out there. And so then when we speak, if we are here to process information so that people can help, right, to make, right, strong decision, we can't be biased. We can't be biased. Regardless of how we feel. You think when I'm speaking about Andrew Honest, I'm in a joke? You think I want to show Jamaican people something, you know? That everything that I speak about Andrew Honest, I make sure I look on the evidence. Jamaica, let me ask you a question. For me, who's a certified investigator, let me put this out there. You think I'm going to run the risk and speak certain things against the Prime Minister? I'm not that careless. Me not careless. So you see, when we speak certain things, we make sure that we research it. And when me tell you, say, the Prime Minister, under no way, shape, nor form, cannot explain his wealth. He can't. I brought documents after documents from time after time and showed it to you so that you can also help in formulating the decision making. Now, let me show you something now. If me tell you, say, United States in trouble. Jamaica, remember, you know, United States big and powerful, you know. And mighty, you know. And if I am going to say, all right, United States is in trouble with Iran. Hold on.
Sir,
Mystic Sensation. Bless up.
Yeah, man.
Bowl up, big up yourself, my brother.
Why the people have to leave out the politics out of that situation.
Exactly, Bolo.
You understand? Just leave, don't make ocean wide drown in to the because of them really have pushed this politics thing to this. You notice the PMP, the man is no longer associated with the party.
Yes.
The courts, they left it alone and them gone about their business and do whatever. So I feel like the people are trying to hold on the political side of this and not really look on the reasoning. Because one of the things that I said, I'm not really educated on the case.
Yes.
But when the man pleaded guilty, that was it for me, brother.
Exactly.
That was it for me. You understand me?
Exactly, Bolo.
As much as how persons, certain things that Andre review on the platform, you know, the text message and stuff, you know, that just that make you ask more questions. But you can't plead guilty. I would have never do that. I may have told you who could have my youth them to say me actually guilty. Me what them ever said to you? What them ever said to them?
That's crazy,
well,
Bolo.
son,
That's crazy.
You know, say me plead guilty, say me take your mother life. No, me I stand for business, brother. Me not, if me know say me not guilty, me not plead guilty, bro.
Well,
That's it, what it mean. Me not do that, brother. Me not have that stain upon my name to say yes, then me plead guilty. When I do that, you don't have no comeback in it.
You're crazy. You're crazy.
You can't appeal for nothing.
You see it?
Plead guilty.
Exactly.
But time them gears serve that. If you let me I deal with, and then your credibility outside in the public sphere is gone. You're going to be seen as a criminal, as somebody that took the life of your wife and left two sons without a father and a mother. essentially because you are in prison and she's in the grave. You see what I say? So people just I say to you people, nobody look upon this thing upon a political level. It is not. It is not. And the persons that try to create that whole, what they call it, demonstration, and the people allegedly behind that. Nobody fall in that trap, man. Left that alone, man. The case done.
All right.
The man get tried based off of what the judge said and what the judge explained. The man is absolutely right. That are the next part that I never know. You wait till the discovery come before you plead. You ask your plea.
Look at that. Look at that bull. Look at that bull. You wait until the discovery. You wait until the discovery. Then you plead guilty. You plead guilty after the discovery. Come on, man.
Come on, man. Guilty, bro. Guilty. And you might be right about the person will come at the house, the police officer will come at the house. You might be right in your look on it. Maybe I'm breaching and I try to help you, man.
Come on, Bolo. You see it?
Yeah. A proper analysis, man. You definitely is a pro at what you do in terms of investigation.
Thank you, my brother.
Proper analysis. Big up yourself.
Blessings.
Look over.
All right. Oh. Yes, caller. You're on Mystic. Oops. Oh, the caller get cut off a while ago. Okay, all right. Yes. Yes, caller. You're on Mystic Sensation.
Hi, Mystic.
Yes, my dear.
What you all must look into, he had a lawyer.
Yes.
And his lawyer is supposed to advise him.
Yes.
What to say.
Yes.
And how to handle the case. That is why you employ a lawyer
to
guide you.
Exactly.
So looking back at Bloomfield case with this lawyer Champagne, I don't see this man as a good lawyer at all. And furthermore, we have been following this case with Lonesome, with all the different evidence, right up until when he wanted the body to bury and he asked somebody, which was Montague, and so he could get an early autopsy to bury the body. I remember that.
Okay.
And then they moved the body to Archer Funeral Home. And I think we had a conversation here already that when the body moved to Archer, it was the pathologist who discovered the shells or whatever was in it. You understand?
Yes.
Now, who is a pathologist? Because it has been told, and we read it, that there's only one pathologist in the island.
Mm-hmm.
Who is the other people who is doing autopsy that is not that individual who is supposed to be the person doing the pathology? Did anybody else touch the body or whatever?
Well, I know when it comes to like crime scene, right? Of course, you have the forensic expert. They are going to do more detailed investigation upon a crime scene, right? To try to ascertain.
Let me tell you this.
Yes.
I do not trust all these people down there. All of them down there.
Mm-hmm.
From the police and all of them down there. You cannot even trust those people. You understand what I mean?
Okay.
The bottom line is, again, I watched that WhatsApp conversation between this woman who supposed to be, was a witness.
Yeah, I saw that too. I saw that too. I saw that too.
I think Montague he should be investigated. He should be investigated because this was a man that was his friend that ran in the election against him. And what he said, so Montague should be investigated.
Well, listen, the situation as it relates to that, what you have on WhatsApp thing here, right? Was it a situation that okay, all right, Montague, right, would do anything for him to stay into to jail? You understand? Because he's running an election, and if he's
but the
out,
fact is Montague should come
yeah.
out and say if that was on what was his
hold
own
on.
words and was his own correspondence.
Yes, but again, in terms of what I am saying, right? How does that make Montague? We saw what we saw, and I know what you're referring to as well because I haven't. How does that make Montague culpable in terms of the crime being committed? You have to explain that to me because I can't see
I'm
that.
not saying that he knows about the crime, but what I am saying and following it up,
yes,
he was involved getting the autopsy done that Jolan could get the body to bury. And I want to know because when I was in Jamaica and when there was an autopsy,
hold on.
My family,
Hold on.
had a place
hold on, sister.
that autopsy was done. It was not done in a funeral home.
Okay, all right. Based on what the judge said, right? Let us take what the judge said. The judge.
I didn't listen to it. I didn't listen to it.
Okay.
Right? I didn't listen to it.
All right. So what the judge is saying, that Jalan Silvera, if Jalan Silvera wanted to have an independent person, right, to do the analysis, he has the opportunity to do that.
Yes, but what is coming back to the conversation that I had with you, he
Yes.
has a lawyer, and his lawyer is the person who would be in his interest advising him what to do.
All right, let me say this to you. Let me.
Did the lawyer tell him
Yes.
to plead guilty? Did the lawyer tell what did the lawyer advise him to do?
Okay, all right.
He will follow what his lawyer do. That is why I tell you.
All right, hold on.
Be careful with these lawyers because the fact is this: when you get them and think they're going to represent you, you don't get
okay.
them.
All right. Look here, sister. I want you to follow me in terms of right the truthfulness of this situation that you want to achieve. Now, follow me, sister. There's a process that we call discovery, right? So if I am arrested on a case that is, I have a case to defend, I will be the defendant. Now, the prosecution and the investigators, right, will normally do their investigation to find out whether or not I am guilty. Now, all the investigation, what the prosecutor would have done and the investigators would have done, the pathologist report, everything would have been gathered. Through the discovery, it would have...
I know all of that.
Then
what it goes back, what I'm talking about now is a gun, right?
Yeah.
Remember the gun that he had, the fragments, they said it did not match the gun that Jordan had.
Who said that?
Watching that. And
Who said that?
You guys gave
No.
about the gun.
Hold on. Repeat what you said.
I said I watched a demonstration. I think I watched a demonstration of the gun. You understand what I mean? The Glock gun, what it would do and how it would fire and whatever. And then they said that or I'm asking, did the gun, the bullets, did it match the gun that Jordan had in his own gun? Did that match it?
Yes. The bullet that they found in the body, the fragment, right, match.
And the body could, first they said she got shot in her vagina, which afterwards they said
hold on, sister. You see that because a caller, one person in my chat room, you know, said first, Mystic said him talk about 22, and first talk about chatting vagina. And I am telling the caller that, look, I am responding in terms of people making making those statements in the chat. And like you know, Carl, and speaking about that, right? It is not mystic sensation. You understand who is coming up? No. I know, sister. No.
That was said that she got shot in her vagina.
Exactly.
And up to the time, I remember a conversation. So well, the only way that could happen unless it was a crime of it was passion. You understand what I mean?
Well, all of that.
We read that it was not. It was so much conflicting things.
Yes.
You're hearing.
Exactly.
But the bottom line is,
yes.
This is what I have to say, right? The law must take its course. But what I am saying, you have no confidence in these lawyers. Because this lawyer is supposed to be Jamaica top lawyer, what you call, but he's no damn good.
Okay, all right. I don't know. So I would ask you, what you would prefer the lawyer to do?
The lawyer should advise him. The lawyer should advise him what to say, how to handle the case. And from the moment he said plead guilty, my belief and the way I feel that was what the lawyer tell him to say.
All right,
because
stop right there. Okay, hold on.
I plead guilty, and my lawyer didn't tell me that I must plead guilty.
All right, stop right there. During the course of discovery, and I want to go slow as possible so you can understand. During the course of discovery, the prosecution would have handed over to the defense counsel, which is Jailan lawyer, every pieces of information that they have as it relates to the investigation. Now, Jailan Silvera would have seen it. The prosecutor would have seen it. So Jailan Silvera, hold on. But
you said he would have seen it, and he should have been seeing it with his lawyer discussion, and the lawyer will say to him, go through it, and he said to him, well, okay, I think you should plead guilty, or I think you should not plead guilty, and because the lawyer is supposed to be the advisor.
Okay. Both Jail and Silvera.
So when people saying, oh, he shouldn't have pleaded guilty, that was the advice he got from his lawyer, plead guilty.
Okay. Listen to me now. Just give me a time to explain, all right?
Because we're all confused.
Okay, all right, just give me a time to explain. I am going to put myself in Jailan Silvera lawyer. When it comes to discovery, if me, the lawyer, and Jailan Silvera, who looking at the evidence, right? The evidence, you have me on a device, you have to turn off the device because it's giving a feedback in the studio here. So you have to turn off the device, sister. You turn it off?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So this is what I'm saying to you now, sister. And I'm taking my time.
We are confused here. We have been in the diaspora and we've been following this case. And we are confused.
But right now you are confused me because you're not giving me the time to explain to you. So I don't even know what to do. Because I am confused too. No, listen to me now, sister. Let me explain to you. Discovery simply means that the prosecution team, as it relates to the investigation pertaining to the case, all evidence would have been handed over to the defense counsel, which is Jylan lawyer. Now, Jylan and the defense counsel would have seen the evidence. The lawyer, hold on.
Where you are is
Miss,
at one point. Where I am going is from
Miss, you're not giving.
From the day she got shot, and from the time when the body was in the house, and at that time they want to say it was somebody from the other side, until the body was moved, until we hear he changed up the apartment. So we have been following up this case for a long time.
Okay, all right. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you one question.
What you're saying about prosecution?
Hold on. Let me ask you a question. Okay, hold on. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. And I want you to answer me truthfully. Of all the rumors that you have heard about the case, did anyone get anything from out of the court or from the prosecution and say, okay, here is the evidence? Did anyone get that?
No.
Okay. So it simply means people are making up things. People are putting things out there, right? And what we are talking are what people putting out there. Now, today, as it relates to Judge Sykes is telling you the evidence being collected. So apart from what people out there, remember now, when a case is trying, public opinion, hold on, sister, public opinion, oh my goodness. Public opinion.
Police, they got the evidence. Remember, after she died, one police from Constant Spring Police Station came there. And at that time, they didn't report that they saw any blood. And she was moved.
Okay. All right.
We have been following up this case. And the bottom line is that there was no evidence there of there was blood. And I'm saying, how come a police go on the scene and somebody was shot? And how come the body was moved by the undertaker? And the undertaker did not clean the body and see blood?
I don't know how to respond to you because you're not allowing me to explain. And I just don't know how to respond.
Well, you wasn't there and I wasn't there, and all we have to go by is where we listening and we hear. You understand what I mean? And the bottom line is, I do not trust Jamaica police, judicial system are not about Jamaica and those dirty, nasty politicians there.
Okay.
You understand what I mean?
Okay.
Especially the damn labor right there.
You have a right to your opinion, you know, because
yes,
of course
I have it. Thank you.
You're welcome, my dear. You're welcome. Now, the thing is, right? Unique said, Mystic Sensation question. Just as how the justice system got evidence on Jylan and sent him to prison in 2 years, why Patrick Bailey, Andrew Honest, former lawyer, not in prison, not even jail 1 day? Now, as what the caller was saying, right, as it relates to the criminal justice system, right, and the corruption, this is one of the corruption Unique Ray. Because time and time, you hear me bringing Patrick Bailey's case in front of the world. And as we speak, Unique Ray, no investigation moving forward to have Patrick Bailey interrogated. So when I am here, let me repeat what I always say and continue to say. Right? I am not going to argue the case as it relates to Jylan Silvera, guilty or innocent. I am saying that, okay, if the evidence been collected and you found Jylan Silvera, right, as it relates to the evidence, right, and you convicted him, my argument that I always make and will ever make until justice being done, why Patrick Bailey cannot be pursued. Patrick Bailey's case is more horrible than Jalen Silvera. So make we talk about that. And this is where I am going and always will go. The criminal justice system, and as it relates to the caller who called me a while ago, right? And not only to the caller who called me, it is blatantly clear that the criminal justice system, as it relates to investigation and prosecution, is 100% corrupted. Why Mystic Sensation is saying it? One, let me give you some full reasons. You have caught, as it relates to guns, as it relates to Philip Palwell, right? Gun was stolen from his vehicle. Patrick Roberts' guns was missing. And Paula Llewellyn found them guilty. Find them. Yes, you did that, Paula Llewellyn. Tam Tavares Finson lost 4 guns. And what did you do with Tam Tavares? Remember, you know, Tam Tavares a big KC liar, you know, and we are calling him out. Tam Tavares know what I'm saying is true. Paula Llewellyn knows what I'm saying is true. You did not prosecute Tam Tavares, and Tam Tavares had lost more guns than Philip Palwell and Patrick Roberts. You did not do anything. Me call a spade, you know, I'm going to call it as it is. Let us move on from that. Bobby Montague guns also got missing. You have not put Bobby Montague and find Bobby Montague. So isn't that selective justice? Make we move on further. You have now processed Jalen Silvera. And you have now sent Jalen Silvera to prison. Let us speak justice. Let us speak justice. And if we want people to spend their time to listen to us, we have to be credible. And we can't be biased. The question, what happened to Patrick Bailey? Patrick Bailey's case is more aggressive. Let us talk about that. Jermaine had received more than 21 knife stab wounds. Look at the gravity of the crime. And when the knife couldn't do it, a gun was also put into play. So he was killed by a knife, killed by a gun. And you are going to tell me that, yes, in Jalen Silvera's case, fragments found, fragments mash up, and prove that it come from Jalen Silvera. The evidence stacked against him, and take a plea. Okay, fine. What happened to the ballistic footprint of the gun that killed Jermaine? I can't blame, honestly, in all honesty, can I blame some of the people not to accept the verdict as it relates to Jalen Silvera when they see plain injustice? People feel upset. because the system is just not fair, and that is the truth. That is the truth. So many times, Andrew Holness seems to be getting away with things. Right? And one of the reasons in terms of me coming out and saying, without no hesitation, that the Prime Minister is a criminal. Well, how dare you accuse the Prime Minister of being a criminal? The Prime Minister had put into the court, many people not realizing this, I remember this. The Prime Minister had put into the court when he forced members of Parliament, 3 of his members of Parliament, right, as it relates to pre-signed letter of resignation. The court ruled that that was wrong. That's fraud the Prime Minister committed. Why we are not speaking on it and calling out? That's fraud the Prime Minister committed. And forcing persons against their will. The Prime Minister outrightly do that. Why are we not calling it out? So when I come here, if I am to say, all right, I am taking side, and I'm not going to call out the things that obviously apparent as it relates to Giles and Silvera's case, then who am I to speak on Patrick Bailey's case? So I am here, right, showing what we need to see. Remember, I am in Canada, right? I am not privy of any evidence, whether to talk about Tutu-matic or talk about shot in vagina. Those are arguments out there. How did they get out there? And let us ask the question, is any of that is true? No. None of that is true. So we are to be fair. We are to be balanced and we are to be measured when we are speaking. The people's time that they spend here, they don't spend their time idling. Right? People come on the platform, they want to be informed. Right? They want to be informed, and it is the onus is on our shoulder. That we don't take their time for granted and insert our personal opinion or feeling. It is wrong. So when we speak on something, not because it sounds good, not because, okay, all right, it is going to bring down. I know what, when I tell people that I am 110% behind Mark Golding. Several things thrown out there against Mark Golding, and Mystic Sensation have done his investigation and found that they are lies, contrary. And how the Jamaican Labour Party accuse him of several things. None of it is true. None of it is true. For other persons who want to go on platform, and get the lies that they want, and get the sound bite, and get it sound good, you're not going to get it over here. We're going to speak it as it is. Because what people don't understand, I have something to protect. So I don't come out and speak loosely. Now, Unique said, Mystic Sensation, it's clear that the justice system, nasty, stinks, corrupted, wicked, evil, the justice system running by Andrew Holness and his cronies, but Almighty God not sleeping. Sykes, you will be judged. Well, I don't know if it goes as far as Sykes, But yes, Unique Ray, I do agree with you. You have a nasty, very nasty criminal justice system. And they can't say that's a lie. Right? Political bias. And you name it. The way I know that Andrew Honest is extremely vicious. Extremely vicious. And I'm warning Jamaican people. I am saying that the man is 100% pure evil. Later on, I'm going to take him on, you know. Because true, me have to deal with this. Later on, a serious something, you know. When I say that he is 100% pure evil, I am not joking. I am not going to try to make up things against him that are not there. I will never ever do that. But I can categorically say to every single person who is listening to me that Andrew Honest is 100% evil and corrupted. And that's no joke. That's no joke. Extremely is the worst prime minister in the hemisphere of the Caribbean. And that's no joke. And that's no joke. Corrupted to the core. Tell him to come here and prove me wrong, or any one of them to come on this platform. I will willing. That's why look, any one of them, from Big Mama go straight down, any one of them, the Draws Davis, come on this platform. If you want for people to see the truth, come on this platform and say, look here, I am going to put Mystic Sensation in place and I'm going to prove him wrong. Come. I beg you to do that. Come and challenge me. And we are going to come with the facts. The investigation that I covered and deeply covered, showing me that every time the People's National Party make progress in education, progress in social programs, Jamaica Labour Party crush it because they are capitalists. I can show evidence of how Jamaica Labour Party attack our education system. I have that evidence. From 1954, that's why I say later is going to be hot enough. From 1954 until we speak, our education system is under attack by Jamaica Labour Party. Our healthcare system is under attack by Jamaica Labour Party. The evidence that I presented cannot be disreputed. Cannot. And when I look on someone, you think if I didn't love Jamaica, and I don't want, as it relates to the future, the prosperity of the country, you think I would be saying, vote for Mark Golden? Jamaica, I guarantee you that if you give Mark Golden a chance, if you open up and give Mark Golden a chance, he's going to deliver what ought to be delivered. You have been suppressed, you have been victimized. The lies, the deceit that play over your eyes, the manipulation, the advantage. The other day when that 3-year-old baby died, and when I look and see Desmond McKenzie, holding up the mother, right? As he's there sympathizing. They are wicked, they are demons, they are leeches. Vicious. When you look on the life that they live, and you look at a Tivoli garden that served them for years upon years, secured them position in Parliament, Edward Seaga, Bruce Golding, and Desmond Mackenzie, and look at what the people are going through at Tivoli Gardens. Look on the life that they are living. Look, they have no shame. They have none. And I will stay here and I will say that Andrew Holness, upon this time, continue his viciousness. The amount of things that we have gotten as it relates to the relief aid. Let me just... Yes, caller, you're on the line here.
Good night, Mystic. Good night to you.
Blessing, good night, my dear.
Yes. Mystic, I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. But all I can say, Jamaica, the country where you born and where my mother born, although she's not here any longer.
Yes.
It is in a deplorable state. It is a two-system tier, the haves and the have-nots.
Yes.
And the have-nots are suffering.
Deeply
some
suffering.
Of them care to see, some of them care not to see. Sorry, I've got a cold.
No, take your time.
You have some of the, how can I say, some of the working class then, okay, say some of the working class, where their children have been fortunate to gain education because of their parents being able to afford. And this government that they have here now,
yes,
is wanting to penalize them. Isaac Buchanan tops the list, but let one of them over the criminal party, the JLP party, turn up in that boy's shoes. Them cannot do it.
Talk it, mother. Talk it, sister, and I love how you talk it.
The Bible tells you who without sin cast the first stone. When Magdalene, the whore drop a God foot, and when them go for stone her, he says to the crowd, who among you without sin
cast the first stone?
Every one of them have to drop the stone to shit. Excuse my French in the Friday evening here. They had to drop the stone. Yes? What is going on in the Labour Party is only for a matter of time. Because it has got to come to an end. Whatever Isaac Buchanan did, when he did what he did, him is the first one to come out and he will tell you. But the time that he was incarcerated, he used it to educate himself.
Exactly.
Them you all brute where you have you now. Rimple, she take when the clap, them people laugh. When the friggin' hell them not talk about that. When the clap people them realize that I do man that was it about 2 years prior, I hell when loan some with it, but them couldn't get the death certificate for change.
Yes.
Right. Because do man did America. Right. You have the other one when them come back, you know, when you hurry read, then put him in the title office to come take where poor people land, because as you know, like myself, Mr. Byron,
yes,
the people of yesterday, me talk about like your granny and your great-great-grand, them couldn't read because them come out of slavery.
Yes.
Yes, and then picnic come to come read. Yes. So okay, the slave master might give them this piece of land here. Look how big it is. Yeah. The slave master tell them put their X. Then put them X to identify. Say yes, it's mine. But because them couldn't sign their name and you get them all criminal here and the wholeness in white and the whole of them are walking and then put our read him in the land registry office for search at the time. So who not pay them taxes and take with the people them land? Them is a set of criminal.
Yes.
Them is a Mr. Byron.
Yes, my sister.
Every time I phone your program, it hurts me head, but me have to talk, right?
Of course, talk.
Them is a set of criminal. And you know, today, I've been listening to you from evening on with this Silvera case.
Yes.
I am not saying that Mr. Silvera is not guilty because it's only him and Father God really know the truth.
Exactly.
But I want to know what Julia told his name and the piece of land. What is her name doing there? And then she come up with fear dry eye self. I come talk about she don't know what her name is doing and there. Well, Mr. Byron, if me is wrong, tell me something wrong because I could be your daughter. I could be your daughter.
Yes.
Right? And if you don't have something to do with land, how the backside your name are going to reach Pande?
Well, remember, and let me say this, since you brought up that, right? Because I was one of the first person, right, who look on terms of what she was saying, and what she was saying, I was not that clear, and I was asking her that she needs to come out and speak to people, whether or not, if she's saying, whether or not, yeah, hold on, sister, whether or not she's saying that her name, right, under no circumstances, right, is on, right, the title, or she's saying that her name is on the title, but she doesn't know how her name get onto the title. Remember that it is the context of that discussion that I have.
Yeah, it's the context. But Mr. Byron,
yes.
We know fool. We know fool. If she has something to do with it,
yes,
right? And you couldn't reach there. I am not a damn fool. A trios me ask, right?
Yes.
And if you go along registry, I see my name and name only alone you're going to find there because there is nobody else there, right? And I don't sell any.
All right. Let me run and take. All right. Let me run and take another caller now because a caller will come in, right? Just. No. All right. Bless up. Yes, caller, you have to turn off your device because you have a device in the background that's feeding into the studio here. Yes, caller, you're on Mystic Sensation. Go ahead.
Yes, I used to frequent Timothy Gardens years ago, back in the 80s.
Yes.
When I bought a DLP, I never knew what I was doing. I was still young.
Yes.
But what I'm seeing now really made me wonder. Timothy Gardens that I used to go to never looked like this. This is so shocking. They never have those little shacks. No, it wasn't like that. It's totally different.
Yes.
Totally different. And that's the last time I voted was 1980. And I would never, what I know now, that I never knew then when I was younger,
yes.
I would never vote for them.
Wow.
I would never vote for them.
So share some of the things with us, what you know.
Well, I used to hang out with my friends in Tivoli Gardens. They used to fish in my town, the father and the sons. So I used to go there. I knew people there that died in their houses being shot up.
Wow.
Politics. Yeah.
So hold on. Why you think that they were shut up? Because they were supporting a different party from Jamaica Labour Party, or what? What would be the circumstances of why they were killed?
They were from the Labour Party, but her mother was heavy into it. But I don't know. Somebody came in broke into the house. There were a bunch of women there, and they killed that woman and a couple of other people that was there. And she had children. Her daughter, the week before she died, she came to my town and she ate fish, lobster, shrimp, everything like it was her last meal.
Yes.
And when she went home, they sprayed bullets in that house and killed a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I never went back to Tivoli Garden, but I used to go to Tivoli Gardens a lot. But it looks different from when I was a teenager. Different, 100%. The houses are now run down and look like hell.
Yeah.
The others was there, but boy, the place didn't look like how it looks now.
Mm.
Never.
All right. Well, you know, and this is what we're talking about. We're talking about the political representation for the many years,
well,
right? And can't able to.
I don't pick sides. I don't pick sides.
You know.
I like to listen to what one person has to say, and what I'm seeing now, I'm not comfortable with it.
Okay.
I want to come back home, but I can't do it.
And
because of my health situation, I wouldn't take a chance because I don't want to run into situations and end up dying in those hospitals.
Well, sister, we don't have a healthcare that will readily assist you in a comfortable way that you would prefer. Let me say that to you clearly, and I'm not going to say come to Jamaica, you know, and you are concerned about your healthcare, right?
Yeah, because I worked in healthcare before I retired.
Yes.
I worked 40 years in healthcare. You understand?
Yes.
And what I see going on there, that don't happen here.
Terrible.
I'm about 2 hours from you. I'm in Michigan. But what I'm saying is, when I lived in Connecticut,
yes,
I work at the state hospital. And when we knew that the hospital is going to be at its max capacity,
yes,
emergency room, we get all the extra gurneys in the OR and we clean them and we make them up for people.
Yeah.
We never out of beds, we never out of equipment. Everything is there.
Yes.
Everyone is ready to go.
Exactly.
We had a system. I worked in Sykes for 3 years.
Yes.
And when I got tired, I went to the ICU to work. And I had to be running back and forth at night time.
Yes.
Running to get the doors for the doctor, the crash cart. Everything was there.
Yeah.
Everything was in place. They're so disorganized, it's pathetic. I can't believe the way they're treating the people of Jamaica. I can't believe my eyes.
Terrible, man.
I am
well, I want to tell you something, sister. Tune in later because we have some things to talk up here, you know, later, you know. You understand?
I will.
So tune in later, because later will be greater, because later we are coming out to the fire, you know.
Yes, I want to see that.
All right. Yeah, man, we have a lot of things to talk about later. I'll be coming out
10 o'clock
at 8 p.m.
Okay.
8 p.m. thereabout. Right? Yeah. So tune in. Right, my sister?
Okay.
All right. Bless up yourself.
Thank you.
Cool. All right. So as you know, right, later I want to come out for later show, right? You will have melting pot, right? And my wife will be here for later show. You know, I like working with her because when she's here, I can get to concentrate more and get to focus. When she's not, I have to be multitasking, right? Doing everything. And I'm so happy that, she trained me so well, right? In terms of, technology, she's that good. And, I can now be on my own because, she elevate that awareness. So she will be here later, right? And of course, leave me to be more focused on the situation. So as what I was saying earlier, that, right, the Jamaican Labour Party, as it relates, and that is one of the reasons why people really need to do the research. You have the Google search engine. When you see the level of viciousness as it relates to the Jamaican Labour Party coming out and even speaking about FINSA, and you say, what? Are they serious? But the thing is, what I don't get though, is that, okay, all right. The Jamaican Labour Party, to show you how vicious they are, PNP created FinSac and rare, blah, blah, blah. And then send that out there in the air. Right? Now, after sending that out there in the air, they lie to the people that, okay, all right, just for PR, you know, even pay to do the investigation as it relates to FinSac. Now the investigation completed. Look what they did. Hold on to the FinSac report. Now, Jamaica people think, if somebody accused me of something, and I said, okay, I am going to have the police comes in, investigate, and upon conclusion of the police investigation, right, you're going to know the truth. And the police completed their investigation. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to highlight the truth. Because you can't. You can't. Because if you highlight the truth, the people are going to see that, one, your Minister of Finance is one of them who also caused FinSac. They will not tell you that Adli Shah got a bailout. They will not. And so then they sit back and, make Mystic Sensation talk, make Lonesome talk and blah, blah, blah. Come out and disapprove what we are saying. Come and show people that, look, Mystic Sensation and Lonesome, Andre Stevenson, right, and those who are talking, see the people, see the evidence that they are lying. You don't choose to do that. You know what you people do? You go upon Big Mama, you go upon on a campaign and talk about misinformation and disinformation. Prove it. Come out. If you have a problem with misinformation and disinformation, come out and say, okay, all right, based on what Mystic Sensation said, Lonesome said, Andre Stevenson said, or whosoever said, here is the truth. Bring it out like that. And this is what we want Joas Davis to do too. This is what we want NNN to do. So when we put it out there and said, all right, Adli Shah, mess up. Big Mama, disapprove it. Joas Davis, come out and said we are lying. Come out and said we are lying. When we said Andrew Ones got benefits from FinSac, come out and said we are lying. When we said it was Edward Seaga doing that caused a drastic pain to have FinSac, Dan Crawford take investors' money and hand it to Edward Seaga. $31 million. And so then they realize, no, okay, we can't put the report out there. We can't. No, man, this not sound good. This not look good. I want to go on campaign and trick. I can't trick. I want to tell them lie. Trick who can't trick. Pure lie and pure garbage. You send out there, you know no liar. You know no deceitful. And when we talk, we show you the source where it is coming from. You can never ever do something like that. And that's the reason why you can never challenge us. Because you know we are speaking the truth. And so then now, You're trying your best now. You don't want the people to listen to us. And your minions them. Right? Because they are not educated. Some of them who are educated and extremely educated, eating out of the trough. Look at the situation with a big mama. A big mama who owe the government revenue $1.5 billion. A big mama who don't want to see a PNP come in. People get it. We don't get it. Why would a big mama, under no circumstances, a big mama would want to see, a big mama George Davis would want to see PNP come in? Because why? PNP will pursue in terms of the revenue collection. That is a problem to Big Mama. That is a problem to Big Mama. So anything, even if Big Mama have to come out time office, leave out time office, and goes out there to do active campaigning, he will do it. Because he's simply saving the food on his table through corruption. What a shame and disgrace. Eh? I'm not going like not decent people. You're not decent. You people are not decent. You're not corrupted to the core. Right? Now for many people who don't know him. Right? And for people who know me, when I take time from out of my schedule, because when we tell people, say, I mean, social media can't pay me. Right? And so then I am comfortable. Extremely comfortable. Right? Extremely comfortable. So when I take time to do this, because I value good leadership and want good leadership for my country. Right? Good leadership for my country. And so then I don't care about views or money. We want to win back Jamaica from criminals and corruptors. When you see the 180 degrees turn where Andrew wants to turn. From day one, go back to the clip, people. When he came out, that's why later is going to be great time. When he came out, that he's defending, speaking in sympathy of Cuba. And I said, you're a con artist. And you have some of them who said, the Prime Minister said not done nothing wrong. Right? What the Prime Minister said, yeah. Prime Minister is a corruption. Because the Prime Minister at the time playing chess. Oh yes, I can step out a little now because I'm in a trouble. Donald Trump in a trouble. Yeah, man, him have the Epstein file and all the political thing are going against him, so we can't step out a little bit because that will make me look good. And you step out a little bit. Yeah, man, you get contacted and say, yo, correct that. As a matter of fact, we are going to expose you and shame you. You go and correct that. Terminate what you need to terminate. And you better do it. And this time, what the congressman did, the congressman responded and said, it is the decision of Congress. May have that for sure. So when a lot of people run out and, oh, the congressman speak, he want to speak for himself, he must speak for the United States. Well, the congressman this time correct that. I said, what do I say? Me speak stand alone. We're going to show how powerful me is. And the congressman put out the statement and said, this is coming from the Congress. We in the Congress. For sure you that the Prime Minister hook him, puppet and a string, hook. when I'm telling him to jump, all he need to do, ask how I. But I say later will be greater. And we're going to leave it here, people, for later. I say tune in later fire. All right. So I want to say thanks to all the people tune in. But, you know, the Silvera case, you know, I mean, take up today. And, you know, it's a good discussion. You know, a lot of people confused merely by the stuff that, you know, we're in social media space. And it goes to the essence in terms of what I'm saying, right? That, you know, you have to make sure that, you know, people who you know say, well, all right, they are going to do the research, right? They are not going to try to win a sound bite. They are not going to try to, you understand, for views or blah, blah, blah. You understand? We are going to come out and show you the research and show you the evidence. You understand? And show you all of that so that, you know, you can make an informed decision. That means it is not me saying it. You understand? So as it relates to certain things, here's the science. Look at it, right? Make your determination. This is what it is saying. You understand? And so then we leave that out there. You understand? We don't look at things in terms of how we perceive it without the evidence. You understand? We can deduce at times. We can perceive at times, right? Because you may see a pattern exist, and that's fine, right? But again, when you are going to deal with certain things and put it out there as facts, you understand? Please have the source of information, you understand, to show the people, you understand, as opposed, you understand? And I'm telling the people this, I'm telling the people them something. If you go on a platform, I'm speaking to all the people who follow me. If you go on a platform and people are putting out stuff and they are not showing you, right, as it relates to a solid medium where it comes from, don't just gobble it up like that. No. Social media, you understand, a lot of things that you may see on social media not necessarily mean that they are true, right? And people sometimes, you understand, them just show things out there, right? Not necessarily mean that it is true. And that is this is one of the reasons why, if you notice what I do, right, sometimes, right, that I quote it from the mainstream media as it relates to the same medium that Andrew Honest used. So where you are going to get my information from, you are going to get it from JIS. I like to use Observer more than Gleaner because you know why? The Observer more aligned with Freedom Party. So anything what we pick up out there and I say it, you understand? It is what it is. You understand? Because it comes from their source. If you notice, when we draw for certain things, you understand, I will use a Gleaner, I will use a Star, right? And make sure, and if I have to do research, I don't, one thing again, don't research and go on website like .com. Anyone can put up anything. .com. Don't do that. If you have .com and I put up .com, anyone is opinionated, right? People can just, you know, put them opinion and and blah blah. You go on .org. I am telling you how to search. If you are getting the information, get it from .org. Why you need to get it from a .org? Because it's an established organization, and if they are wrong, they can be sued. So now I put something out there. Get it from a .org. Then just get it. All right, you get certain things off of Facebook and you fly it out, and you get certain things off of this and you fly it out. No. Even when I get some things from Facebook people, I will go and research it. And if, let me tell you something, a lot of people send me things, you know. A lot of people send me things. And they will notice that I don't put them up and I don't use them. It is no disrespect. I don't use it because when I'm searching for it on the main source to back up what you have sent me, I don't find it. And I will not use it. So I am saying to people, for people who are sending me things and they are not seeing it putting up, that is the reason why I'm not putting it up. If you send me stuff, when I come from TikTok, Facebook, right? What I do, right? I normally go on Google search engine, you understand, and search the search engine. I have to see the backup source of that before I put it out and speak on it. And that is one of the reasons why I tried my best as possible to dot all my I's, cross all my T's, and stay in line. Right? Yes, stay in line. Because the information that I am giving you, you understand, we have a source, we have a foundation, right? And so I want to make sure that you are best informed where that is concerned, right? To make sure at least, right, I am giving the information that needs to get out there. So later will be greater. All right. And I want to say bye for now. All my people, keep strong, right? We will see each other later, right? Bless up. All right. Walk good.
I don't want you to come to me with that foolishness, you know. You elect a prime minister, and is a prime minister run the country. It is time we learn to hold our leaders accountable for their actions and stop making excuses for them. Stop making excuses. Otherwise, go elect the people who really run in the country. And I don't want the right side that stupid argument. Hold the people you elect accountable and stop making excuses for them.